Check.
Bit of luck, wasn't it? Do you think Cliff and the Shadows will ever break up?
My name's Jim Hardy. What are we gonna do now, Yogi? I don't know, boo-boo. I don't think the Ranger's gonna like this, boo-boo.
My old man's a policeman.
That's nothing. Lonnie Donegan's old man's a dustman.
The world's going to end in February, and all you can do is talk about idiot singers.
If Cliff and the Shadows ever did break up, I think I'd die.
There isn't much time, Herbert. There isn't much time. There isn't much time.
Keep calling me Herbert.
But you are a Herbert, darling.
I'm not. I'm a Johnny, darling. Hello, baby. Did you get the flowers?
Yes, darling, they were beautiful, but you shouldn't have.
What about the bracelet? Does it fit?
Oh, darling, it's beautiful, but you shouldn't have.
What about last night?
Oh, darling, it was beautiful, but you shouldn't have.
You mustn't blame yourself.
I'm not, darling, I'm blaming you.
You mustn't blame me either.
No, you're right, darling, I do blame myself.
You mustn't blame yourself.
Blame it on the moon peeping through the window.
Blame it on my husband, peeping through the window.
Blaming on the intoxicating rhythm of the music.
Oh, it couldn't have been that, darling. We only played your latest record.
Oh, I see.
Maybe there was something in the wine.
I meant to ask you about that.
Whatever it was, there was a touch of insanity about the evening.
Herbert, why aren't you as funny on the stage as you are off it?
I'm a singer, not an entertainer. I mean, I want to be an all-round entertainer, but I'm not a politician.
What are
I'm worried. Nobody liked my last record.
That's nothing to worry about. It's not the end of the world.
But it is. At least it will be in February.
Darling, I didn't know you read the papers.
I'm not an idiot, you know.
Of course you're not, darling.
I know what's going on.
Of course you do.
I just wish I knew what was going on, that's all.
Oh, well, darling, there's nothing we can do about it. And if we've got to go, we might as well go with a bang.
It's medicine time!
Right. 2 up, 2 down, and my regards to your husband. Same time tomorrow?
I can't see her tomorrow. I've got an appointment with my wife. Oh, and tell Mr. Herbert Nevish I'll see him now.
Yes, sir. Sir will see you now, Mr. Nevish.
I suppose you're wondering why I've called you here tonight.
Not at all, Mr. Nevish. Very good of you to spare me the time. It's about February, isn't it?
Yes, that and my future.
Well, if you invest your money wisely now, by February you won't have any future to worry about. I mean, you won't have to worry about the future. Tell me, Mr. Nevish, how much do you earn a year?
Oh, about 80 or 90,000. That includes my cigarette money. They've named this cigarette after me. It's called the Johnny Darling Health Cigarette. It's all cotton wool with a tobacco filter. We've got this commercial that goes, "Hello, lung lovers, wherever you are."
What a wonderful idea. Do you mean it actually stops you getting lung cancer?
Oh, no. But you get 40 fags for 9pence.
Secretary's on the phone, sir. It's about the Commonwealth.
Well, tell him not to sell it till I give him the word. Well, Mr. Plunge, have you decided to take the Herbert?
Well, I don't know whether I should. You know, my records haven't been doing too well.
I'm sorry to bother you, sir. It's the Chancellor of the Exchequer. He wants to know if it's true you're planning to devalue the pound.
Well, tell him I haven't made up my mind yet, but when I do, he'll be the 7th, 8th, 9th person to know about it. Well, Mr. Mind, have you made up your Herbert yet?
Well, you obviously know what you're talking about, sir, but, you know, show business is so uncertain. I mean, as soon as you turn around, there's another fellow on the scene, and before you know where you are, you don't know where you are.
I'm so sorry to bother you, sir, but it's the Prime Minister again. I've told him you're busy, but he says it's very important. It's about tomorrow's cabinet meeting.
Tell him I'll try and be there by 10 o'clock, but if I can't make it there to start without me, I'll join them at the 19th hole. Oh, and tell the Foreign Secretary the clubs are in my locker. You see, Mr. Business, in my Herbert, it's just one damn Nevish after another. Now, let's say you earn 80,000 a year.
Yeah.
Well, we could start off by putting 10,000 in banks and HP. That's a very good source of income, I mean. 20,000 in aircraft. They're going up all the time. But I think we should steer clear of electricals. A friend of mine recently suffered a very nasty shock. And we should avoid foreign bonds. I don't think an Englishman should get himself tied up in foreign bonds. It makes for a very common market. Now, how do you feel about 2,000 in beer? It's always nice to have a little beer money, but we'll put nothing in oils unless they're originals. And we'll ignore tobaccos. They'll only go up in smoke. We'll sink 5,000 in shipping, steal 5,000, borrow 5,000, 5,000 in Rhodesian mines, 5,000 in Rhodesian yours. Newspapers are booming, so we might get a free issue of 2 for 1, tea for 2, 2 for tea, me for you for me. Can't you see how happy we shall be?
Yeah. Well, I won't keep you any longer so I can see how busy you are.
Take my advice, you'll buy British, embrace the common market, and go forward with the Commonwealth to a new era of Bob hope and prosperity.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Oh, by the way, if you're looking for a reliable fallout shelter, I can get you one through the trade. A friend of mine's making a bomb out.
Light! Give me some light!
Why didn't you like my last record? How'd you expect me to stay in the top 20 if you stopped buying the records? All right. If you're so clever, what are you going to do about February?
If there is a general election in February, the Socialists will win by an overwhelming majority, and there's nothing you can do about it.
But we've never had it so good.
Suez, Cyprus, Ghana, Congo, Cuba, Berlin, Laos. If you call that having it good, my old man is a dustman.
You leave Lonnie Donegan out of this. I've got enough trouble with Elvis Adam, Connie, Cliff, Hank, Jet and that lot as it is.
We gave you nationalised railways.
Yeah, and all the trains were late.
We gave you nationalised road transport.
And we gave it back again.
We even nationalised steel.
That's nothing to be proud of. Poor old Tom hasn't had an hit in the hit parade ever since.
Hugh Gateskill will make the most wonderful Prime Minister this country's ever known. That jawline, that nose, those eyes, gazing firmly into the future as if to say, give us the tools, and we will fight them on the beaches and in the fields of human conflict.
Yeah, that's great. What do his eyes say about February?
Well, I'm very glad you asked me about that, because as it happens, there are various schools of thought about this within the framework of the Labour Party. On the one hand, Michael, Foot, that is. Well, Michael feels we should row the boat ashore, whereas Hugh stepped out of a dream. Silverman and Crossman are all in favour of walking back to happiness, whereas Babs, Edith and I feel that when the girl in your arms is the girl in your heart.
It's nationalised Madison time.
Right, 2 up, 2 down, and I'm so glad I'm in Labour. Hit it.
Life.
Life.
Life. Life to me is a great big, beautiful, unmade double bed.
No. Life to me is a journey through an endless desert, broken only by the intellectual oases of Picasso, Stravinsky, and Jerry Mulligan.
No. To me, is a magic land. But life can be a tragic land unless he's there to hold your hand. My darling, you must understand that that's the way he's got it planned. For he must know that love is grand, and we will wander hand in hand through heaven's tea night wonderland.
No. Life to me is the morning after taste of cheap Spanish burgundy on the lips of yesterday's woman.
No. Life to me is the sunshine of Proust, breaking into the deep dungeons of Kafka. I knew an actor once. Was it twice? He stole all my makeup.
Did he say anything about February?
No. February to me is the shape of a mushroom. And a February mushroom is the shape of things to come.
I'm not afraid of death. I was petrified when they broke up the Bewley Jazz Festival, but I'm not afraid of death.
There isn't much time.
Don't keep calling me Herbert.